Pearson. Put through by Greenhoff. Jones is after it. Pearson shot goal!
And welcome again to the big match. Well, one more full weekend to go to the end of the season, and still so much to be settled. As we see today, as we feature Spurs battling for promotion to the First Division against Sunderland. That's the main match. Also, West Ham struggling to stay in the First Division. Their visit yesterday to Manchester United. And Cup finalist Arsenal going strongly for a place in Europe. Their visit to Leeds. Also today, your last chance to vote in our Golden Goals competition, so there's some more explosive action there for you. But first we start with Spurs against Sunderland at White Hart Lane, where a 38,000 crowd was looking for an afternoon of good cheer.
For Tottenham, the news is good. Glenn Hoddle, who missed the England under-21 game against Yugoslavia midweek, has recovered from a heel injury. And Chris Jones, also out of the squad for that midweek under-21 game, is also in action again after his ankle injury. And John Duncan, who scored twice at Sunderland in a 2-1 win for Tottenham earlier this season, is back in the Tottenham attack. So as Spurs push towards the First Division, this is the team that looks for a valuable win today. Now without Don McAllister, who is serving a one-match suspension after being sent off last week at Brighton. Jerry Armstrong, that striker-turned-defender, fills the gap at the centre of the defence. Otherwise, it's a Tottenham side that's had a good run, largely unhampered by his serious injury, although they have lost 2 of their last 3, and it's a bad time to start faltering like that. As for Sunderland, no prizes for them this season, and their recent run with only 1 defeat in 9 games came to a halt on Tuesday night when they were again in London, and this time lost 3-1 at Millwall. Bobby Kerr, still their best-known player and the sole survivor from those heady days of 1973 at Wembley. As someone who will know his way around these North London parts is Wilf Rostron. Sunderland bought him from Arsenal last summer. The referee today, it's Clive Thomas from Mid Glamorgan, soon to go to Argentina for the World Cup. And as you'd expect, White Hart Lane healthily filled for this important game. So where we go, Sunderland in blue shirts and white shorts, Spurs in white shirts attacking the goal to our right at the start of a really critical week for Tottenham. 3 games left, today's at home in midweek against Hull and away to Southampton next Saturday. And really at this precise moment, disregarding results in other games, Spurs want 4 points for promotion. And they could well do with 2 of them today, and Peter Taylor going in, and a goal! In 28 seconds, Spurs go into the lead. What relief and joy and sorrow for Barry Siddle in the Sunderland goal. He's not yet touched the ball. And for Spurs 1-0. Came in high. Peter Taylor was the man who nicked in. And Spurs 1, Sunderland 0. Well, a goal in 28 seconds when you are desperate for something to go your way as you look towards the First Division. Nobody could have plotted a better start for Tottenham. So Peter Taylor, 11th goal of the season. And what a vital one today. Well kept in by Perrin. Jones laying that on nicely for Peter Taylor. Again, that fell nicely for him. Oh, and he's going all the way. And he tried to square it for Duncan. Here's Jones. That won't get to Duncan either. What a lovely run by Peter Taylor, though, and really, as he went stumbling through one challenge after another, it looked as though he must have a go himself. The pass inside towards Duncan just didn't come off. Pratt turning it back. Could have put him in trouble. Perryman getting it away, but not far. Here's Kerr with the cross, and the header by Doherty over the top. Mick Doherty there with the header. For a long time a back 4 player, now in the midfield. Taylor. Naylor. Accurately played for Hoddle. Chipped in again for Chris Jones. Nobody there to take advantage of it. So it's Henderson. Kerr. Rostron. Perryman there with him. Doherty turning it in to Gregoire. And Rowell. And Rowell! 1-1. Well, it was a mistake by Jerry Armstrong, the stand-in defender for Don McAllister. As that came in, the mistake was there by Armstrong, and Gary Rowell hits it into the roof of the net to bring Sunderland back on level terms. Spurs 1, Sunderland 1. McNabb.
The second goal was scored in 16 minutes, 16 seconds.
Pratt. And a free kick to Tottenham. Over the top. The free kick quickly taken, and Peter Taylor's header over the top. Armstrong. Murmur going round White Hart Lane as Jerry Armstrong got possession there and really didn't make a lot of it. But here's Hoddle. Oh, what a lovely piece of running by Duncan, if he can turn it back. Well, he can't, but at least he prevented it going for a goal kick, and it's a throw for Sunderland instead. Kerr with it. Holmes. Taylor. That's a good cross. And Chris Jones put it wide. Everything was right about that except the final touch from Jones, because Taylor whipped across a beautiful centre low, curling in towards Chris Jones, and certainly he was well enough placed, but he didn't get the right angle on it. Gregoire getting past Holmes. Lee in the middle, the little chip was for him, but it really wasn't very accurately played there by the young number 8. Here's Bobby Kerr, played back this time for Henderson. There's another chip, and again there's just a little too much on it, but Roston will get it with support here from Bolton. In Sunderland still playing a very relaxed game of football. Doherty playing it now for Henderson. Kerr available on the right, chipped in again towards Rowell, but the whistle had gone for offside before that ball thudded against the Tottenham crossbar. No doubt about that, the right decision by linesman and referee. Jones. Good turn, brought down badly by Rowell there. And Clive Thomas feeling for the book. A yellow card for Gary Rowell, and I think when you look again at that tackle, if you look at it, it was worth the card. It was worth the card. But here's Naylor. Right again. The first pass was wildly off the mark. He's got a chance to make another one. Duncan played back for Pratt again, played in for Jones. There are plenty of them up. Taylor's there as well. The little chip going in. Oh, and he hit the post with it. Well, terrible luck there for Peter Taylor. That's one of his stock in trades, those lovely little curling shots. Siddle desperate to get across his goal, the ball hitting the post. Kerr. Bolton. Kerr again. Now Rowell. It's a good cross he's got in. Oh, and Barry Danes just got a very important fingertip to that one because Lee was right in behind him. Kerr, as usual, involved in the Sunderland attack. A little pass for Gary Rowell, who got it in across well from the byline there. Danes in all sorts of trouble, but just got a fingertip to prevent it going to Bob Lee. And back it goes by Henderson. Certainly the Spurs man of the first half has been Peter Taylor with his goal and with the curling shot that hit the post. Half-time whistle, and indeed Peter Taylor, what a start he gave them, 28 seconds, and when things began to look a bit sad, he almost put them in the lead again with the curler that hit the post. But Sunderland in fact have looked a very relaxed side, and it was Jerry Armstrong's mistake that allowed Gary Rowell in for the equaliser for Sunderland. And Spurs are by no means out of the wood yet in a match where they would really like 2 points to continue their push towards the First Division. Half-time score then at White Hart Lane. Spurs 1, Sunderland 1. We'll be back with the second half. Welcome back to White Hart Lane, where referee Clive Thomas getting ready now to get this second half underway. The score 1-1. Spurs really, I think, will look for slightly better form in this second half. They look like a side that certainly when Sunderland had pulled them back to 1-1, be riddled with doubt, particularly at the heart of their defence. But here's Peter Taylor. He gave them a good start in the first half, but that's a goal kick for Sunderland. Spurs, in point of fact, who've lost 2 of their last 3. It's a bad time to have that sort of run, and indeed have won only 1 of their last 5. Mind you, that was a very important one here against Bolton Wanderers. But they're unbeaten at home in the league, and it's 2 points, not 1, they're looking for here today. Kerr. Perryman sticking to that job well, but it's fallen for Rostron here. Henderson. Rowell, left foot, no trouble. Goal kick. Taylor starting from deep. Jimmy Holmes had to get in quickly there. Duncan. Very quiet time so far, but that's a nice little pass for Taylor. And on the far side, Terry Naylor. Hoddle. It's a good cross as well. Jones with the header. Well, there was a scramble across the goal there for Siddle. The Hoddle cross coming in. Jones getting a header. And the ball just beating Siddle, but also going wide of the post. Hoddle. Duncan. McNabb. Naylor coming up alongside him to support, and so is Hoddle. Here's Hoddle. Jones playing it back again for Hoddle. Will he let one go this time? No, it was Rowell who got in the way, and Rostron who can bring it out. Gregoire and Lee are up for him, and coming up fast here is Mick Dougherty. What a good break by him. As a cross towards Bob Lee on the far side, the header there, and it's into the net by Lee, and Spurs are behind. That's 17.5 minutes into the second half, and Bob Lee has put them into the lead, Sunderland. A great run-up by Mick Dougherty, and his cross to Lee on the far side, who had 3 or 4 yards to himself. And although Barry Danes got a hand to it, he couldn't stop it going into the net with Gregoire in very close attendance. So, Spurs, after a start that produced a goal in 28 seconds, now find themselves a goal behind. And is this slide of theirs at this disastrous time in the season, so near to the end when it looked so sure for them for so long, is that slide going to continue? Sunderland have already got their substitute Sean Elliott changed, and Hoddle bringing it in now, and Duncan on the turn, and Siddle with the save. Looked as though there might have been an infringement there before the ball got to Duncan. When it did get to him, it didn't really have a shot with a lot of conviction about it, as Siddle went down. And it's Roland Gregoire who's coming off. It'll be Sean Elliott who comes on. Taylor. Hoddle hitting it in there. Jones! Well, it was the moment when Spurs wanted a really positive reply, and between them, Hoddle and Jones nearly found it. Hoddle's cross, Jones getting in first with a header, just too high. And here's Kerr. Look at this space again. Pratt trying hard to get back, Armstrong nodding it down. Oh, Pratt giving it away to Bobby Kerr. Played now for Rostron, and a chance was missed there for Sunderland. And 3-1 would really have meant problems for Tottenham. The ball given away to Bobby Kerr by John Pratt. Kerr finding Rostron, and Rostron really perhaps panicking and going at it a little too quickly. Played in there this time for Perryman. Holmes with the cross. And it was Henderson who got it away. Taylor again. Elliott. Away to Lee. Well, if Spurs don't watch it, they could be caught out again. They've got a lot of men forward, and they've got to bring them back. And there's Kerr onside. Linesman kept his flag down. Played it again. And another goal by Lee. 3-1. Well, that's a disastrous moment again for Tottenham. They'd taken a chance by putting Perryman right up front, and they were badly caught out. Bobby Kerr onside, linesman kept his flag down, a low cross coming in, and Lee put it away with ease. Brought down, that'll be a booking. Jackie Ashurst on Peter Taylor. An unprofessional foul. And a yellow card. Just look at it again. Didn't really look as though he was going for the ball, did it? Well, it's John Pratt who's going off. So they're taking a man out of the midfield now and putting Colin Lee up. Now what will Steve Perryman do? Will he stay up there? Pratt already in the dressing room. Lee putting that ball into the centre, but Henderson getting it away. Holmes. Elliott getting away. A good advantage played by the referee, although Elliott is down and injured. Played in again now, this time for Rowell. Is this number 4? No, it's not. Saved by Danes, but it could so easily have been. Elliott on his feet again, and they were allowed to go a long way there until Danes dropped on that short-range shot from Gary Rowell. So a quarter of an hour to go, and Spurs requiring 2 goals for a point. Naylor. Taylor. That's a good cross. And Perryman's right in there. Oh, and he's hit the post. Lovely cross again by Peter Taylor. Perryman on the far side. Controlled it well. From this angle, it looked as though he hit a post. Louis Armstrong. Looking to go all the way. That's territory that he knows better. I say, what a run! And what a shot! Great applause for Jerry Armstrong, and no wonder. What a run! What acceleration and pace and power, and a shot that hit Siddle. And Duncan hobbling very badly. I think it's a touch of cramp, actually. it's been some 10 games since he played in the first team, and maybe the pace is beginning to tell, but it certainly isn't on Bobby Kerr. Again, masterminding Sunderland coming forward, finding Rostron. Doherty has come up quickly. Lee is up there again. Well, the onus is on Tottenham to hustle them along and keep this game moving. Sunderland don't mind doing this. 3-1 up inside the last 10 minutes. Sean Elliott through there. Hoddle. Played for McNabb. Taylor. Hoddle again. And now Naylor. It comes again. Jones with a header, and Duncan got the touch. Well, we could be in for a finish. 8 minutes to go. As that long cross came in. It was touched there, first of all, and then secondly, Duncan just got that little nick in there. Enough to put it wide of Siddle. Spurs 2, Sunderland 3. And can Spurs now find a third goal? Lee now releasing Bobby Kerr. Oh, Kerr can make it 4-2, and he's saved though by Danes. Well, Rowell trying to get that into the... No, it's a goal kick. Well, that was really almost another enormous setback for Tottenham. Kerr right through there. He cut inside his man and had just Danes to beat. Could easily have been 4-2, but Danes made a very good close-range save. Taylor with the cross again towards John Duncan. Now for Taylor, and a save by Barry Siddle. What a finish now. Taylor getting hold of that from close range, and Siddle pushing it up and over. Crowd frantic for a goal. Taylor with the corner. Naylor with a chance to turn it back. Finds Lee offside. Lee played in for Rostron, put the space again. Mind you, Spurs have got to start taking a few risks at the other end, and that's a corner off Jerry Armstrong. Rostron. Holmes has got to go for the ball. Well, that was a silly charge in the back by Peter Taylor on Will Rostron. The frustration was there. And a free kick given to Sunderland. Rostron, well, he's playing the same game again. Perryman wanting to get it, and another free kick to Sunderland. Taylor not happy with it, and the time is ticking away. As twice Wilf Rostron has got that ball down by the touchline there, defied Spurs to take it away from him. Now maybe the ball will be flung into the middle. Kerr playing it short again for Rostron. And another free kick, yes. And Peter Taylor and Steve Perryman are both going to be booked. Utter frustration there by the Spurs players, seeing the time being wasted, so far as they thought at any rate. And Rostron, for the third time, keeping that ball close to the touchline. Although I honestly think on that occasion it was his intention, but for a trip, to get the ball into the middle. Now, what's going to happen this time? Well, he's not going to do it again. In fact, the free kick given now. Well, Rostron could be in trouble himself. I think he called the referee something. Back coming on for 3 minutes of time added on, and now it is all over. It's a victory for Sunderland, and really in terms of promotion and so on, more significantly it's a defeat for Tottenham. Jimmy Holmes and Steve Perryman go off worrying now about what might happen in this last vital week of the season, when they've had such a brilliant start today with that goal by Peter Taylor after 28 seconds. Then Gary Rowell put Sunderland level after a mistake in the Spurs defence. Then those two quick goals by Bob Lee put Spurs really on the slide, and even though John Duncan pulled one of them back, they just couldn't find the third goal that would have meant a point. So a full-time score then at White Hart Lane, Spurs 2, Sunderland 3.
So now the question is, have Spurs blown it? I don't think they necessarily have, but clearly now there's not the slightest margin for error for them as you look at the top of the second division table. Southampton, having won on a penalty right at the end at Luton yesterday, go to the top. Bolton lost at Cardiff. But of course it's Brighton who got that point at Oldham and are really in a good run at the moment, who are the biggest danger now to Tottenham. And the remaining fixtures, when you look at them, that Southampton are away to Orient in midweek, then they're at home to Spurs on Saturday. What a tremendous clash that's going to be. I suppose to simplify it, you could say if Spurs can get 3 points from those two remaining games of theirs, at home to Hull in midweek and then that one at Southampton, then it doesn't matter what Brighton do in their two remaining games. You look bottom right there, Brighton's two remaining games, though, are both at home to Charlton and to Blackpool, with Bolton, the other team in contention, a very difficult away game against Blackburn, who are fifth, and they finish up next Saturday at home to Fulham. Clearly, looking at that, though, it's all going to resolve itself almost with the last kick next Saturday afternoon. But where did Spurs go wrong yesterday? Well, they looked quite inadequate in defence almost all the way through, and it's probably fair to say that manager Keith Birkinshaw is well aware of that. He doesn't need me to tell him, because it's no secret that he's been trying to buy a top-class central defender. It was apparent as early as that first Sunderland goal after 16 minutes that Spurs were in a bit of trouble. When the ball's lifted in here to young Roland Gregoire, just look, as a miscontrol there, but just look as he gets it back again, the room that he's given, the time to turn, surrounded by 5 Tottenham players, and he flicks it in, and Rowell just gets a touch with his head. And it's where here that Jerry Armstrong, not a defender of course, makes his error. But look at the number 9 there, completely unmarked also inside that Tottenham penalty area. And there was another example in that first half where Spurs were giving Sunderland so much room on the edge of the box. There's Wilf Rostron. Now, how on earth can you allow a forward that amount of room on the edge of a penalty area? And it was as well for Tottenham on that occasion that Rostron miscontrolled it and Hoddle was able to get in there and snuff out the danger. But when they went 2-1 down, they instantly put Steve Perryman up. To me, they overreacted a little bit there because they left themselves so loose with just 3 men at the back. And indeed, it was from this particular move that Sunderland got the killer third goal. Remember, when they went 2-1 up, Sunderland, there was still some 25 minutes left, and Spurs really had panicked at that point. And now with just 3 men at the back who got caught very square here, we'll stop this in a moment. There they are, look, absolutely square, just those 3 men in defence, and they were very vulnerable indeed. Lee, in fact, a lovely pass through here for Bobby Kerr. What an inspiration he is still to Sunderland. He was onside, he could easily get in behind the defenders. A nice little touch inside, a good piece of finishing by Bob Lee, and Spurs then were in real trouble. And really there was another example of Spurs losing composure, as well as at least a valuable couple of minutes right at the end. That was important. That came with those incidents involving Wilf Rostron and the booking of Steve Perryman and Peter Taylor. That little incident down by the corner flag here, this is just the third incident that seemed to go on and on when Spurs were desperate to get it going. Perryman, in his frustration, gets in behind them. I think Peter Taylor probably has a word of anger there to the referee. That's what caused his booking. Don't quite know where to stand on that. Rostron, obviously, it was a bit of gamesmanship by him, and I don't quite know what Spurs could do about it. But there was a lack of composure there, and it was evident very much in Spurs' game yesterday, and they'll really have to improve on that in that vital home game against Hull, and then, more important perhaps, their visit to Southampton next Saturday. Let's move on now to our second game, this one involving a London club striving to stay in the First Division, West Ham. who took a good little run of 5 wins in 6 games to a vital encounter away to Manchester United yesterday. Granada's cameras covered the game. The commentators, Gerald Sinstadt, West Ham here are in the light shirts.
Bonds to Taylor. Bonds again. Nobody on the left for West Ham. Lampard in the middle of the pitch. Brooking into the space created by Holland coming back. Robson dummies over it for cross. It's a good move by West Ham. Good dummy by Robson, but Cross's shot at the end of it lacked the real finishing venom. Alveston and Robson. Now McElroy. Jordan. Harassed by Green and brought down by him. Paul Green, former Hartlepool and Carlisle defender. Alveston will take Manchester United's free kick. Just coming up to half-time, a couple of minutes to go. Towards Jordan's head. For Pearson. The referee has given the penalty. The foul on Jordan. Or maybe a handball. Yes, there's a handball indicated by Mr. Mills. When the ball came in from the free kick, Jordan and 2 West Ham defenders both going for it, and somewhere in there was a handball, and Mr. Mills gives the spot kick, which Stuart Pearson will take. Already scored once from the spot this season against Queen's Park Rangers a fortnight ago. Oh, well saved by Ferguson. Pearson took a long time thinking about it, hit it low to Ferguson's right, and the goalkeeper was down. Green off forward, now it's a race, Pearson against Martin, and that's a penalty. Martin concedes his second penalty of the game, and you really have to wonder whether the youngster should still be on the pitch. He just did not have the pace to go with Pearson then. Pulled him back, and it's another penalty for Manchester United, but will Pearson take it? Martin apparently inconsolable, although Lampard, who was having a go at him a minute or two before, now pats his shoulder. So could this be the penalty that will seal West Ham's fate? Ashley Grimes is going to take it. Steps up and coolly puts it wide of Ferguson. Pearson. McElroy is willing to chase one into the box. Koppel is going in, but it's played for McElroy. Pulls it down well. Back heel was well meant, but Bonds back to Ferguson. Sammy McElroy did well there. Called, ran, took it down well. The back heel was a good idea, but nothing came of it. McQueen. Oh, and an easy goal! McElroy. Well, a little bit of Scottish magic from the big fella. Gordon McQueen turning up on the left touchline, dancing his way past men and playing it in where McElroy had an easy goal to score. Sammy McElroy's 9th goal of the season, making it 2-0 with 13 minutes to go. that Ali McLeod's feeling about Gordon McQueen is that his job is at the other end of the park until Scotland are 6-0 up. But if they ever reach that happy state, I wonder whether Gordon McQueen will fancy one or two shimmies like that in the World Cup finals. McIlroy. McQueen. Buchan. Augustin to Jordan. Turn, Green. Rush is giving him a run for his money and a push in the back. Jordan holds the ball for Coppell. Coppell's cross is deflected. McIlroy against the post. Pearson. Well, there was some good play there from Manchester United. 4 players involved. Jordan, who took his man on in the run, held the ball up, then used Coppell. Coppell's ball in, met well by McIlroy with his head. He was unlucky not to score, but when it came back off the post, Pearson was there to apply the finishing touch.
Well, when you're in trouble, nothing ever seems to go right, and West Ham fans might well reflect on that when you look particularly at the first Manchester United goal, that penalty. As Pearson goes roaring through, where does Alvin Martin make that first contact? Outside the penalty area, and indeed the shirt pulling is also outside the penalty area. And Stewart, in fact, then falls into the box, but the referees decided that was a penalty. Morally, some people might say it was, but certainly, according to the laws of the game, that first important contact was outside the penalty area. What about the second goal? This bit of shimmying here by Gordon McQueen. And as Frank Lampard gets in the tackle, is Sammy McIlroy, the number 4, on the right of the picture, offside? He certainly looks to be at least level with the last line defender, but that's a real hairline decision. The referee decided that McIlroy was OK, and that goal was allowed to stand. So it's still trouble for West Ham, very much so as you look at the bottom of the First Division now. Newcastle and Leicester, we know, already are doomed, and it's now beginning to look very much like West Ham or Wolves for the other place, with Queen's Park Rangers and Chelsea just nicking themselves out of real danger. West Ham's 2 remaining games away to Middlesbrough and then at home to Liverpool next Saturday. Well, our last match today involves another London club. This one is Arsenal, and they're certainly in happier circumstances right now, already in the Cup final, and the position in the First Division is high enough almost for them to be sure of qualifying for a place in next season's UEFA Cup. So Arsenal were looking for a good result on a ground where they'd not won for some 40 years. The match was covered by Yorkshire Television. Commentator Martin Tyler. Arsenal are in the dark shorts.
Arsenal, of course, like Leeds, very keen to get themselves back into European football. Not been in the European competition since 1972. Of course, extra hopes for them if they win the FA Cup final on May the 6th. Well, Tony Carey looking for the flamboyant finish, and it's a shake of the head that says quite a lot, really, because he hasn't found his goal touch since coming here from Sheffield United. Only scored 3 times this season. Brady. This is Ricks. Straight for Curry, who gets it back from Rankin, and the space ahead of him. Well, Graham's now run into it himself to fill it. And the cross comes for Eddie Gray. Frank Gray going outside him as the decoy. Back for Hampton, and took a deflection. Divine, but didn't, in the end, embarrass Pat Jennings. Arsenal, who got 1 or 2 goals this season, notably in their Cup semi-final against Orient, from shots that were deflected, but nearly on the receiving end then. Stapleton brought down. Stewart opting for two in the wall, and has to come, and it's a goal which will be credited to Frank Stapleton, whose challenge to Stewart was only a yard or two from the very goal line itself, from Brady's free kick, and one felt the goalkeeper should have got that, and it's gone into the back of the net, and Frank Stapleton will claim credit for it. Leeds looking just a little bit shaken, having conceded a goal, particularly, I think, in the manner in which Arsenal scored it. Brady again picking out his front men. This time it was Stapleton. McDonald or Price. Stapleton coming in, and Hart had to take the safe way out, and again communications between goalkeeper and defender not at the best of levels. Ricks coming over to take the corner as Leeds try to gather their composure in the goal mouth. So often Arsenal look for David O'Leary coming off the near post. And it's gone in off Paul Hart for his second own goal for Leeds. And this only his 10th game. And the disasters pile up for Leeds. Ricks took the corner, O'Leary fooled them, and it was Hart's head that sent it rocketing past David Stewart. Ballroom now to go to half-time. Young setting Ricks on his way. 3 in the box. Cross may now come from Nelson. Leaves it though to Brady. Nelson in space as well. Gets it back from Brady. Pull back for McDonald. And he connected cleanly. And just look at the room he had as it was set up with patient build-up down the left-hand side. He just got underneath the volley. And that was the reaction. Hart. The dummy from Hankin is a good one. Taking on Young, whose tackle got the ball. And it's tidied up by Brady. Just a little bit of feeling creeping into the game. Frustration certainly from Leeds, who gave a good account of themselves early in the game, and now find themselves trailing by 2 goals to 0. Finally agreeing about whose throw it was. It was Leeds because it was deflected as Flynn went into the tackle. Having got their goals, of course, Arsenal playing with increasing authority. And perhaps McDonald has just done enough to add to that authority to make it 3-0 in the 35th minute. And again, it was Brady who set it up, McDonald pointing to where he would like the pass directed. It was delivered on a plate, and although Stewart got down with his right hand, the shot was too powerful for him. Curry taking it from Madeley. Nelson, Ricks providing extra cover. Now get it away again. They did readjust to lend support, but it went in for Flynn. This is Madeley. And Jennings has got to come, and Willie Young got in his way. And Graham couldn't turn, but Curry with an emphatic finish. Jennings protests to the referee. It's 3-1, and Tony Curry is the scorer for Leeds United.
Well, that's it then. What a busy weekend of football we've had. I must just commend you to a game before we go, to be played next Thursday at Highbury. It's the FA Youth Cup final between Crystal Palace and Aston Villa at Highbury next Thursday evening, kick-off at 7:30. Hope very much you've enjoyed the tension-filled action of the day that we've been able to bring you. A day when Spurs needed points to drive into the First Division. A day when West Ham needed them to stay there. And it all started so well for them. Spurs a goal up in 28 seconds.
At this precise moment, disregarding results in other games, Spurs want 4 points for promotion. And they could well do with 2 of them today. And Peter Taylor going in! And a goal! In 28 seconds, Spurs go into the lead.
And for West Ham, they kept on course with Bobby Ferguson's penalty save.
Oh, well saved by Ferguson.
But then it all went sour, and both Spurs and West Ham were left beaten
Coming up
and
fast
dejected.
here is McDougherty. What a good break by him. As a cross towards Bobley on the far side, the header there, and it's into the net.
Jordan holds the ball for Koppel. Koppel's cross is deflected. McElroy gets the post. Pearson.